I was speaking to my mate the other day, and the conversation we had was about discipline. And I'm a true believer that doing discipline-heavy activities are insanely good for you. This is because it forces you to stop choosing things that are easy. You're naturally going to be in an environment where you're going to be challenged. You're going to find things difficult. The more conditioned you are to environments that challenge you, the less threat that they pose to you over time. And in order for this to happen, you have to identify what your unintentional weaknesses are. Say for instance, you're someone that works from home, you're going to be secluded most of the time. You're not going to be having people around you the same way that a sales professional might have. So what you want to do is find ways that you can keep those social muscles strong, have interpersonal relationships with people outside of work. Again, this is just an example of an unintentional weakness, but this is something that can happen regardless if you mean for it to. In order to shift weaknesses, you have to be quite proactive. You have to look at the different ways in which you go outside your comfort zone in order to keep yourself strong in this area. These things form because they are actually things that we routinely neglect within our 9 to 5 and our working weeks. Another mindset shift that I've been conscious of recently has been to do with inspiration. Like, what are the things that actually inspire you? And I'm not just talking about getting a nice car, getting a great body, earning lots of money, all that sort of stuff. Because I'll tell you what, when you're in the routine process of working on your business, going to the gym, they're very boring and lonely activities. And they're things which over time, they can actually feel quite draining because you're not seeing any immediate progress from them. It's only from doing it consistently for months, years, whatever it might be, that you can actually see the end outcome, the end result from that. To get any degree of proper success, it takes a lot of sacrifice, and in the moment, that diminishes any fun that can be had from actually getting the end goal. So when it comes down to inspiration, you have to look quite deep. Something that I do when I'm editing, I actually play these ambient music playlists that have these cheesy movie-like quotes in the middle of them. It's something that's quite silly, but it keeps me focused and keeps myself from being distracted because I'm constantly being reminded why I'm doing something. And why I'm editing is to achieve something which is a great video. I want to have a great outcome for this channel, but it just gives you an idea of what it takes to be successful at something. You have to have a sense of delusion that you're on your path to doing something that's truly great, and you're using whatever method you can at your disposal to get there, whether that's affirmations, whether it's cheesy movie quotes that I'm listening to. Something that I come back to a lot when I'm editing is Hans Zimmer's soundtrack for the Dark Knight trilogy. It's an amazing soundtrack if you haven't heard it, and I think the reason why it is so good is because the whole series, the Dark Knight trilogy, is about a man that is using his mind and body to try and make his environment and his city a better place. And there's nothing that's more motivating than having that on in the background and you're doing your work or you're doing like a gym workout. Even when I've trained for marathons and for boxing matches, I've had the soundtrack for the Dark Knight in my head, and it's been something that gets you out of some very tough situations. I think what it comes down to as well is that if you've got a task or you've got something that you want to achieve, you want to embody the mindset of someone that is likely to hit that goal, that is likely to get that done. Sometimes what I do, I actually imagine that I'm Keanu Reeves if I feel like having a calm or zen energy would help me a lot. But if there's something that is challenging and there's an objective that I need to get completed, I try to imagine that I'm a bit like Bruce Wayne. But whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it's fictional or non-fictional. If it inspires you, that is what matters. Whether it's Buster Douglas being knocked out by Mike Tyson or Rocky running up the steps, if it's something that makes an impact on you, that's when you know that something has a real power behind it. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't seen my last video, you can click right here, and we've got tons more content on the way, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Take care.